Alrighty, so today we're doing something kinda sketchy, but due to lack of budget, we are shortening our own front drive shaft. Now, I was smart. That is the original drive shaft that came out of Rosie, chilling here besides the original engine. Oh, wow, I'm stupid. Love pressing the wrong buttons when I'm using the phone. This is a drive shaft that came out of a truck from a scrapyard. So what we have done so far, we took the angle grinder and we kind of cut here, cut there, and then finally found where it was seamed at, and then we trimmed it back a bit more to make sure we're getting a nice meaty chunk there. And we have our approximate length D-shaft, 29 3/4, from the end of our flange to the center of our cap. Okay? Wow, I'm good at this. How I measured the 29 3/4 from the flange to the center of the cap was I laid underneath the truck with the tape measure, kind of stuck it like in the, I guess I can show you here. I stuck it right in the kind of like right there in the U-joint, or in the cradle, I guess we'll say. Then I ran it back up to here where there would be a T-case, and that's how I got my measurement. And gosh darn it, I did it again. That's like the 4th time I've done that. I'm gonna hate editing this. Whatever. So yeah, that's how you do it. You measure from there to there, then you take your spare drive shaft. Do not do this to your original drive shaft, because drive shafts are expensive. So I took and I cut in and I trimmed it shorter. And now, oh good, I flipped it right this time. We take our tape measure, go into the flange. I want to go to the edge of the table here, which is that 29 3/4. And you look at it from right there. There we go. Set up our U-joint at roughly the same spot. Now you can see, about right here is where we're going to cut it. So we make our Sharpie mark right there. We'll check that up and cut it. I would love to use the bandsaw, but for some reason it keeps throwing the blade off. Now I do have a spare blade, and I'm going to try that real quick to see if that will fix it. But I make no guarantees. So I'm going to try swapping the blades, see if it'll stop throwing the blade. Turn the phone the right way again. If anyone's got an idea on how to fix that, let me know in the comments, because it's being a pain in the butt. Yeah, I'm going to swap the blade, try cutting it, and I'll let you know how this turns out. Alrighty, so we wound up needing to use the angle grinder. I think it's something with the actual cutting part of the saw, like where the opening is. I don't think it's aligned right. Cut it shorter. Pieces right here that came off. So now this will go back in there with a little bit of force probably. Maybe I gotta do a little bit of loving on it, but should be a fairly tight fit. You can see that is actually a machined face there. So I should just be able to hammer this on up in there, and she should go. Alright, so there we go, got her welded up now. I did have to, I heated the tube, and I cooled this, and I still had to wail on them to get them together. But the best way to do that is get yourself something with a little bit of girth to it. Right, you can see this is all dinged up now, kind of on both ends. And I would just simply, I had this chucked in the vise, you can see right there. I just set this on here, hammer, move it over, hammer, and then just keep going around. Keep going around and around and around, and eventually you'll drive it in, even with the preheat. And I cooled down the stub side, and it still did that. So it was kind of shitty. But then I turned up the welder maybe a little bit too hot because it kept tripping the breaker. You can see there's a little bit of beauty weld in there. Don't need the ground no more. But it is on there. This is not a beautiful weld by any means. There's a couple nice spots, but without a turny thingy, it's really hard to get it all good. And I don't have it. Alrighty, so it's another day. You can see we got the truck. We got Rosie here back inside. She has made a couple of small drives. That consists from making it down the block, and then I say screw that because it sucks with having that front brake seized up. But either way, the drive shaft does work. I have not been able to confirm on the balance or not yet. I have not taken it in to get balanced yet. But either way, the drive shaft works. Yeah. So we're gonna end this off here now. This video took me way too long to film, but that's okay. So, like, subscribe, drop a comment. Gotta thank TMR Customs and Amsoil. You guys are the best. Amsoil, I'm still waiting on that care package. I don't know when it will be here, but I'm sure it's lost somewhere in the mail because our mail system's great. Alrighty, but on another note, y'all keep it killer.